This is the Town of Sherborn Zoning Board of Appeals. What's the petition number, Jeannie?
2202-10.
Petition 2202-10, I guess it's a new petition because the last petition was withdrawn. A new petition for 263 Western Avenue by Teresa and Eric Leschkin, assisted by their able architect Shelley Wood Ziegelman, SWZ Architects LLC. And I bet Ms. Wood Ziegelman would like to speak with us and tell us what she's got in mind.
It's 263 Western Ave, and what we have in mind is using the grandfathered setbacks to push the house out and make it an age-in-place house, making the master bedroom more accessible and adding a screen porch and extending the garage a little bit to add more storage space in the foyer and mudroom. And
Can you put it up on the screen?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you did that. I will put it up on the
I
screen.
think last time I did. I don't have it teed up.
And then you drew all over it. I remember.
Well, I did. I'm trying to help.
Okay. So
I
as you
think,
can
I think
see,
you'll be much more happy with us this time. All right, walk us through it, please.
As you can see, this heavier red line are the grandfathered setbacks where the house was before. This fainter red line in the distance are the setbacks according to the zoning ordinance.
Got it.
The area where we're extending the master bedroom is within all of the the existing setbacks, the zoning ordinance setbacks. Where we're pushing the garage to is the grandfathered. And then where there was a porch, we're reducing the size of the porch and just making it contain space within the house. And those are the changes.
Part of the kitchen. Okay, and if you could square off that corner of the garage up at the upper right.
We would love
you?
to, but we wouldn't be within the grandfathered setbacks.
Well, because one thing that happened since you were last with us was we changed our rules a little bit.
Tell us about it.
And the two gentlemen who sit on the board with me metaphorically beat me up endlessly until I finally caved and went along with their way of doing it. Actually, I voted the other way, but I voted the other way in the circumstances of that one. But I think, all kidding aside, guys, didn't we decide that extending into the setback area where you already had an existing extrusion into that setback, which they do here, would be okay if we found it was not substantially more detrimental?
Yes, that's consistent with the Bellotta decision.
Right.
And this
and 50 Whitney.
Yep.
Help us know what the implications would be, because we do have that sort of notch off corner on the garage extension to remain totally within the grandfathered setbacks. Am I understanding that you've loosened that a teens?
Well, and this you're the first the first one since we changed the rule, so we're feeling our way along here. But I think, guys, we could invite them to square off the garage, just extending that. Where's my north, south? Where's my compass rose here? What's at the top of the screen? Is that north?
That's
probably
east. Pretty
okay.
much.
So to extend the east wall of the garage out to where it would meet the south wall, exactly where she's showing there.
So where my cursor is.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if we were to, if they were to argue to us that that's not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood, and if we were to so find, I think we're allowed to do that under our new rule.
Yes.
Is that right, Jonathan?
I agree.
Mr. Stefik?
Yeah, I'll go along with that. Correct. I think that is the correct interpretation of what we agreed to a week or two ago.
Okay. Which was a change. So Shelley and Terry et al., before you say, wait a second, this is different than we heard last time. You're right, it is. But it's good news for you. So there we go.
Yes, I was not going to claim that it was not good news.
Yes, but
Okay,
may I be so bold as to first close the door because the dog has a squeaky toy. 1 second. if, if this wall of the garage on the south side were to have been drawn to here in the triangle was a little longer, the angled edge, would we be able to do the same?
Well, let's see, as to the, east, sort of, as to the southeast extrusion, that's now an angle that runs sort of on the southeast side. I think they can do that, gents, because they were already intruding into that setback area. And Ms. Engelmann, were you planning to intrude beyond the grandfathered line on the west side? Probably a little bit, right?
You're right, it would be a little bit. If we kept the garage, the front of the garage we could push the front of the garage back.
Right. Yeah, you could play with it to stay within that one.
Except-
Well, it looks like if you were to move the side of the garage, which is the south side, farther south, it looks like you wouldn't intrude very much into the grandfathered front yard setback.
Right,
Right.
I mean, you see
Maybe
where I'm
6
going. with-
inches, maybe 6 inches or so.
Yeah,
Right.
The
And she could
thickness of
even
the wall,
avoid that by pulling the wall back to the east a little bit.
you see where I'm going with that. We have a 1.5 car garage now. It would be lovely to get 2 cars in there.
How far can you do this in real time?
I suppose.
Even roughly? Or do you want me to get out my pencil and start drawing again?
No, please don't. I
You're
believe
sure?
you're a lawyer.
You're sure? I'm really
Correct.
excellent at it.
I'd have to, can't do it while sharing in real time. it
Okay.
looks like.
All right, so what you stop sharing,
Okay,
take a whack at it.
all
Jens,
right.
would you support the sort of trying to do this in real time?
Well, as long as what we document is readable.
Right.
I feel under a lot of pressure
You're up to it.
and the dog is,
Didn't do it.
Right.
Weeping.
Anybody,
in
can
the hall.
anybody hum the Jeopardy theme?
You're not asking the dog to make the change in the design, are you?
no,
Or the squeaky toy.
Right.
sorry, but now she's scraping at the door because I closed.
There's
Okay, I mean,
obviously
this
something
is,
fun
this is
going on involving
probably,
food.
this is probably bigger than we need, but you asked me to do it in real time. So this is the triangle going southeast. And
And
these are 2 8-foot doors. It doesn't need to be as wide as I have it.
got it. And there's a lot more of the lot off to that side
Yes.
that isn't shown.
Yes, I can change this. I can take you off the screen and then show you more.
Yeah,
want.
if you would.
Absolutely. Wow, I wish I knew about this rule. I would have.
Right.
Well, there's a lot. There's a ton of the lot.
Yep, we've got the proposed site plan. It's part of the record.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if you
right,
look
yeah.
at that, but I'm still doing it for you. 1 second. It's just,
Maybe I'll mention a thing while Shelley's working. What is on that other side of the property line is, according to our neighbors, been dedicated to agricultural horse pasture land. There is a horse paddock, an indoor riding ring over there.
Right.
but no residents on that side.
Right.
okay. I've
Got it.
been-
Oh, that's good. That's useful. We can see it now.
Yeah. So you can see the lot goes way out to here into the title, into this, and then continues out. It's a triangle.
All right, well, Mr. Fitch, you are our official ringleader for Belatra interpretations.
Okay,
How do you feel about this?
well, I certainly feel that we should permit a finding as to the change that as now has been proposed. My first question was whether the small scale extensions to the pre-existing structure were such that they were illusory in the Bellotta terms, and whether a finding was even required, given
Oh,
the,
you mean if they weren't doing the garage this big?
well, the extensions of the garage, you know, the other things that are the part of the application seem to be small scale in nature and not really the concern of chapter 40A, section 6, as interpreted by the SJC.
All right, so
So-
you'd say under Belatra, the kitchen extension and the bedroom extension, we don't even have to rule on, you think?
Yes,
So the kitchen extension, even though it's into the grandfathered setback, that is not a finding?
Well, Mr. Fitch and I are having a little bit of an academic debate here. Because I think in your case, because you're ahead of us, the nice part is we can approve this plan. And Jonathan and I can decide before we finish the hearing tonight about how much we want to fight about whether there's a ruling on those or not. And Ron, I don't know how do you feel about those? Let's assume we all come to the same conclusion that as to the garage, we want to make a finding to support it.
Well, my biggest concern in all of these types of projects is the intrusion into the front yard.
Right.
And this scheme, you know, it doesn't intrude into the non-conforming dimension of the front yard, except that little 6 inches there, which I say is very insignificant.
Right.
So the question is whether that side yard intrusion, I was just curious, what would be the resulting side yard dimension be?
From, where would you like me to take it? Because it's, again, a
From the
triangle.
southeast
Well,
corner.
it looks
over
like
to the
it's
foot-
30.
This corner right here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
if you know the dimension from the previous dimensioned wall to that corner, you can just subtract it from the 36.8 feet,
I'm gonna
Right.
just, I'm gonna be more
or you
accurate.
can actually measure it.
Yeah, I'm gonna measure it.
Looks like it's about maybe 20 feet or more.
And again, as Terry mentioned, it's a horse pasture
Mhm.
and is it a riding school, Terry?
No, it's just an indoor ring to be used, I guess, in
It's-
bad weather.
it's
not
about-
being a rider.
It's about 28'5" to be exact.
28, okay, that's pretty substantial.
And yeah. Okay, I'll give it back to you.
well, I would lobby my fellow board members that as to process, if we, I would certainly vote to support all 3 elements as not substantial. And then they could have unanimous finding.
Mhm.
Jonathan, I think you'd probably go further and say, we don't even need Novak's stinking vote on the little ones.
well, that's really how I feel, right, Rick? Nah,
I know.
I think it's the more conservative route is to make the finding. Why cut hairs here? The idea is we don't want to stand in the way of the homeowner here for this kind of change unless it's substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood than the pre-existing nonconformity.
Right.
And
And,
there's
and
nobody,
that, go ahead.
nobody here from the neighborhood or anybody else arguing that it is.
No,
Ju-
but the
ju-
reason,
I just wanted to make a comparative point. In a residence A situation, the side yard requirement is 30 feet. So it's the resident B that is 40, well, B and C require 40-foot
Yep.
side yard. So, you know, if 28 feet is almost 30 feet.
28'6".
right. And Jonathan, I think my only disagreement with you is not on the outcome here, but I'd like us to make a finding on this one so that we could leave for another day what's so insubstantial that we don't need to make a finding.
Yeah, that's fine. That's an idea I can get behind.
Okay, sort of ZBA jurisprudence. Okay, is there anyone else on the call with anything to say for or against this project as shown on this plan, which we're going to call the June 15th, 720 plan? And Ms. Ziegelman, can you save that and put a label on it or somewhere you can?
Do you want me to dimension the garage? I'll clean
Yes.
it up a little bit, but do you
Yeah.
want me to dimension it and then I can send it to Jeannie?
Yeah, what we'll say is a vote that it's no more intrusive than the plan that we saw tonight, and that you'll send us a cleaned up version confirming that.
Okay.
With today's,
Jonathan and Ron, you sound like a plan?
yeah, I'm
Yep.
on board with that, sure.
Yep.
All right, well, unless one of you guys wants to speak, I'll make a motion.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, I move that the zoning board of appeals grant the petition for a finding under 1.4.6 of the zoning bylaw that the modifications to the garage, kitchen, and master bedroom shown on the plan given to the board June 15th, 7:20 p.m. Be approved as not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood than the existing house, and accordingly that the petition is granted.
I'll
I
second
second
that.
that.
Okay, let me just take a quick look and make sure I've got the right, I got the zoning bylaw site.
He disappeared.
It's the background.
I don't think anyone's out there getting to appeal these. Try to set it up as best we can. Not substantially more, yep, that's my motion. Okay, so moved, seconded. Further discussion? All right, all in favor, aye. We have to do it by roll call. Novak votes aye.
Stefan, aye.
Fitch, aye.
Okay, 3-0, you've got your permit.
I think it's
Thank you,
safe to say,
gentlemen.
it's safe to say we are happy homeowners.
We
Oh,
are
good.
extraordinarily happy.
Good.
Thank
Well,
you very much.
despite what you sometimes might hear, we actually do try to work with people. Okay. Do we have any other business? And Ms. Ziegelman, thank you very much for your on-the-spot drawing. I'm sorry. I owe your dog a doggy treat, but
No, thank you very much for whatever you did last meeting that made this happen.
Yes, yes.
this will be
indeed.
nice. They'll have a nice side-by-side 2-car. It'll all work.
Yep.
Fantastic. And thanks
Totally
again to the board for your consideration. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, yes.
Jeannie, do we have any other business?
Right now, no,
Okay,
Wow.
I know. It's
Meet
amazing.
meet y'all at the bar.
I'd entertain a motion to adjourn from one of my enterprising board members.
I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Fastest ever.
Um, uh, Any further discussion? All in favor, aye. Novak votes aye.
Stefan, aye.
Fitch, aye.
Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you all very much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Aye.
Same
You
to
too.
you. Thanks again.
Good night, everybody.
night.
Bye-bye.
All right.